Hello world. Okay, well it's my first video 2014, so I better off to say hope you all had a good Christmas and wish you all a happy new year. Now, I have been looking forward to doing this video for quite some time. I've actually done a couple of videos on the very classic Triang switchers. I did one a couple of years back. It was only a quick one, it wasn't even intended really. It was just it's when I reached a total of 4 I just chucked them all on the track and did a run around with a quadruple header, but it was nothing important really. Then about a year ago I did another one showing you all the diesel switches that I got to date at that date. I didn't run any of them, I just went through them all with you and showed them to you all, and at that time I didn't have them all. I've now reached 95% of my goal. And that being the case, let me now introduce you to the cast of this video, and in manufactured order we start off here on the outside line. Woo, with this a bit quick there with the control again. Alright then guys, here we go. Right, first of all, the first one, 1957, the maroon one here, which you can see is in very good condition. I would say out of all my switcher collection, I would actually put them, a couple of them at mint, and the rest of them are very, very good to excellent. There's not actually one that we'll call out and out perfect. Right, so we're starting off then with the red one, maroon one, 5007, as you can see. Now there's something that gives these early ones away. Just come around here and I'll show you what I mean. I pointed this out once before. You'll note that in the headlight there's no rivet, and that applies to the first 4 that were made, which is the, like I say, the maroon one here, and then there's the green one and the yellow one, and these are all 1957, and they started fitting that rivet there on the front and back lights after that period. And sometimes when you do get hold of these, you find that the molding is melted from the heat from the bulb, which of course a metal rivet would stop. So there we go then. That's the first one, the maroon one. Okay, we'll move them along a little bit. When it decides to go, have we got the right control? Yes, I have got the right control. Alright, that moves us on to the green one. Now this again is a 1957. It's in very, very good condition, as you can see. This is the second one that Triang brought out. Lovely. And then onto the third one, which you'll also, get the control right in a minute. So moving on, then we come to the yellow one. Alright, stop her there. Now once again, same running number, 5007 as the green one and the maroon one. I actually found the yellow one of the hardest ones to find, the plain yellow one with this with that running number. The green one and the maroon one are quite rare, and they fetch considerable money, but I really struggled to find an original yellow one, but there she is. So that makes all the first 3 all 1957, and again that one's not got the rivet in it, so that's your giveaway on those very early ones. Then from there, now this is interesting, because what they did, they moved on to this one. Now you can probably see the different shade of yellow from that last one there, and this of course is the one with the hazard stripes. Now this is a very common one, and you'll also note that when they did this, they changed the running number to 7005. They reversed the 7 and the 5, whereas like I say, the others are all 5007. But I have since discovered that there is one, in theory, that would go in between these, and again it is a yellow one. It is striped, but it's got the number 5007 on it, and I've never seen one. So there is sort of an in-between one that would really go there. I'm not over fussed about it because I've got the different variants anyway, but if one of those comes along, well, the striped one, number 5007, would indeed be interesting. Right, just taking it around the track a couple of times for you. Have a look. Over here, let's see it come through. Here they come. 1, 2, 3. First 4, along with the rolling stock. Very good. Okay, nice run by here for you. Yeah, all the old shaky Triang stuff with the old real drag bearings on them. Yeah, I've got a load of new wheels, metal ones, and I'm going to change all of them on the Triang stuff. Here we go then, first 4. In order of appearance and manufacture. We'll bring around to a halt over here. and I'll talk you through the next few. Beautiful. Alright, back in the tick. The first four I've just shown you were designated the number R155. So we're talking about the red one, the maroon one, the green one, the yellow one, and then the yellow with the stripes. They're all 155. Now, moving on to the centre line here, bring through for you. The next one that they manufactured was this one. It's obviously a yellow again with the hazard stripes. Number 7005 still, and the word Transcontinental on it. So it's only the wording that's different really, but this one was the next one to be manufactured, and this one too had the number R155. Now I've got a bit of a story to tell you about this one. It was in absolute superb condition, absolutely spotless condition when I got it. The only thing is, as a lot of these do, let me get up a bit, as a lot of these do, it did need a coat of paint on the roof here. A lot of them tend to have paint chipped off the roof, but the rest of it was fine. So I got it on the workbench and got the paint out, the matte black little humbrol as you do, and I started cleaning it and masked everything off, and I started to paint it. And whilst doing so, I didn't spot the fact that the coupling at the back down there had hooked into my paint tin, and as I turned the loco around to paint it, I pulled the tin with me and I knocked it over. It went all over my hands, all over the side of the locomotive, and I'm serious, this whole area here was completely, the bogie, everything was completely covered in matte black humbrol. I had to think really quick, and the only thing I could think of that's going to get this off straight away was a brush and brush cleaner. A brush cleaner is really good for getting paint off really quick, but I had no idea if it was going to damage the loco. I just had to do something, so that's what I did, and in doing so I'm very pleased to say it didn't really do any damage. As you can see, it looks fine, but I'm sorry to say I've lost a little bit of the number. That's what came off, but the rest of it didn't get damaged, so that's better than nothing anyway. Now the next one to be manufactured after the Transcontinental yellow with hazard stripes here was one that I haven't got. It's really not any different, because the only difference it says is, whoops, nearly, oh sorry go, the only difference it says is Trans-Australia. Now I haven't got it, I have seen them, I've not had one at the right price, they've been stupidly priced, and eventually I will get one, but as I say, the only difference is, says Trans-Australia, and that one, when I do get it, I will put with those two at the back there, or I would do, sorry, if I was showing them, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. But right, so moving on from, oh, and by the way, that Trans-Australia one, the product number was R1550, which is interesting. Right, moving on then to the next one, coming out of the Triang factory down there in Margate, was this one. Now this one I would have to say is mint. This is the Canadian National one. Again, they're all the same body, just different liveries, blah blah blah. Now that's the Canadian National one, and the number of that was R1551, which again would make sense. And now we're going for perhaps the most rare one of them all. Get a load of this, guys. Bring it through for you. R1552, the grey one. See it, look, Canadian Pacific, the grey one. This one is like bloody rocking horse crap. They're so hard to find. Now, bit of a story about this one. It wasn't cheap. I'll keep the price for myself, but it wasn't cheap. But nevertheless, it is in good condition. I'll get up and show you around her, and I'll tell you why, the little man on the front there in a minute. But you can see she is nice. It really is nice, and I'm very pleased to have it now. Slight little touch up on the roof's needed, but like I say, that's virtually the same on all of them. Right, why is the little man glued on the front? Well, here's the reason why I did that. Because when this one arrived, as I say, I paid a fair amount of money for it, and when it arrived, unfortunately, in the post, I won't say any more than that, you see how these railings are just pushed in there and there. Well, obviously it's the same on this one, as you can see there, and at the back it's the same as well. But if one of these railings gets pushed forward like that, it tears the plastic out of the walkway there, and unfortunately both the front and the back on this one, that had actually happened. So what I've had to do, the plastic was lost, a tiny little piece had come out, so what I've done, I've glued the little man over there. It was the only way to cover up the bit of plastic that was missing. So it's a bit of a shame, but there's quite a nice ending to this story. I'll try and show you here, if you can see what I mean on the camera, if I can get in there. You might just spot there where the bit of plastic's missing. Hopefully you can see that. But I'm obviously going to glue a little figure over that one as well, and then I might glue one or two onto some of the others to make it look more sort of, you know, symmetrical basically. But the good part about the story of that is, I mean, I can live with that. It's not nice having to have to, but I can live with it. But the good part is this: when I contacted the seller about it and we exchanged photos and phone calls, blah blah blah, we came to an agreement and we split it 50-50. He sent me half the money back, so I'm grateful for that, and as I say, I can live with it. It's certainly better than not having one. I know maybe one better one might come through one day, but when you say better, if you think about it, apart from, you know, sticking two little men on there to cover those tiny little blemishes up, the rest of it's fine, so I probably won't even bother. I'm quite happy with it, really. Okay, right, moving on again. The next one, this time, is another Canadian Pacific Rail, and it's the orange one, which is quite common. It's not terribly sought after. The number on it would make sense at being R1553, so that would make sense there, and there she is. That's the orange one. So again, on this set I've put quite a few Canadian Pacific Continental freight. Again, it's all the old Triang stuff, all the old good rickety shaky stuff, so I'll just take that through slowly for you, let you have a look at it all. Yeah, some triple containers and chemicals, tankers, and then the quite rare Canadian Pacific yellow caboose, which is in perfect mint condition and with a good chimney stack again. So we'll just take it through a couple of times for you. Nice steady pace for you to have a look at it all. Nice gentle flyby. There, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. The freight. Okay, we'll bring it to a stop over here with the others. And I'll have another little break. It moves. Cool, I'm happy with that. See you in a bit. And so now to the last two. So I'll just bring them along, let you have a look at them, introduce you to them. Whoa, that's a quick there. It's a bit too quick there, sorry about that, guys. Okay, first up then, the Australian NSWR, the maroon one there, as you can see, and the number on her is R308, nothing to do with R155 at all. Her number was R308. Now, that was the next one that was manufactured, and finally the very last one to be manufactured was this one. And this one is quite a rare one as well. This is the Victorian Railways one. She's not perfect. She's in very, very good condition. There's a couple of tiny blemishes on the whiskers. It's not a bad one. You'll see there probably. There's a little bit of paint loss there. But, I mean, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And again, I'm going to tell you now on this one. This one's worth quite a bit of money, even though it's not mint. But I paid 20 quid for it. And that was just like the bargain of the century. Brilliant, that is. And the number on that is R763. Completely not in any chronological order with all the other numbers at all. But that's the last one they made. And as I say, it's quite a rare one. T336, the running number. Victorian Railways. Now I will point out to you here that you'll notice that it's got the handrails on, and so has the NSWR as well. Triang never fitted the handles to these. To me, the rails, I just do not understand why they didn't fit them. To me, it's bloody stupid, because it's the same moulding, all the holes are there, and the Continental ones, they just didn't have the railings put on them, and I don't know. to me, they don't look right without them. So obviously, you know, I've bought some Triang spares and I've put rails on both of those. If any of you serious collectors think that's a bit sacrilege, well, fair enough, but this is my personal choice. I prefer to see them with them on. And at the end of the day, if I was going to sell them, which I'm not, and if somebody wanted them to be, shall we say, in quotes, original, it's dead easy just to take the rails back off. So there you have it. I'll run the rolling stock by you just briefly here. Now, I have got the giraffe car on here. Yes, it is supposed to duck his head to go under bridges and tunnels, whatever. But I'll get it right in a minute. The magnetic strip that fits in between the track is in a box buried underneath there somewhere. But having said that, I think you can only use it on a straight track. So I haven't bothered getting it out. So it's no big deal. So we've got the giraffe car, and then you've got the cattle wagon type thing. The speedy service, the refrigerator, the speedy service, you've got the triangle railway box car and the permanent way, which is, by the way, that's the track cleaning one, but I pulled the pad up for this, obviously. And you've got the hopper, twin container, and then one of the very easy to get red cabooses, and again mint, no broken steps, and complete with its chimney stack. So yeah, take this one round a couple of times. And like I said, when I do get the yellows and black striped Trans-Australia, it would be sensible to put them on with these because, you know, they're both Australian anyway. So there you go. We'll just swing around a couple of times and it'll be time to start doing some editing. There we go. Oh, lovely jubbly. Okay, over here, take a stop. Yep, I'm cool with that. Right, I'm going to get this bit loaded onto the computer and get it all edited, and then I'll come back and do a final film of them all running together for you. See you in a bit, guys. Oh, and before we get everything running, I just want to point out to you that every one of these locomotives, they've all been fitted with my my modified wheels, you know, the ones that I sell on eBay and done the video on before. These have all got the small flange wheels which have been cut down on a special machine, and they're running perfectly alright on System 6 track, Pico track here, and the middle rail of course is Super 4, but they've already been done anyway, so they're all done with the new wheels. So here we go then, let's get everything going. Now bear with me a little bit because I don't want them flying round. I want to try and get sensible speeds for you so we can get some nice camera work on them as well. But just give me a couple of minutes to get everything going what seems and feels acceptable. Okay, that's okay for now. Let's get the centre rail going. I'd like them not to all just be coming round together. I'd like them just sort of individually. Well, it's going to be a bit difficult with this matter of freight on, but you know, I'm sure we'll get some good runs out of it all somewhere. Speed looks okay on the middle line there. And so it's the centre line here now, coming round. Yeah, that looks okay. That's a reasonably good speed, not over the top. Alright, let's see what we can do with the last one. Come on, baby! There we go. Again, I want to keep the speed sensible, so trying to control it. Yeah, looks okay. Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah, the blue caboose look. The rare one, made in New Zealand. I forgot to tell you about that one. Right, okay, let's seriously get some shots then. See what we can get coming round. Oh, pretty busy, guys. Well, there you have it for the first time ever on YouTube. Virtually a full set of the Triang switches, all 10 of them, although in theory there is 12, which I spoke to you about earlier, but there we go, that's the main one, think like that. Ooh. Wobbling away some of those wagons, typical old Triang stuff. Like I say, I bought a bag of 50 pairs of perfect scale wheels for these wagons, metal wheels. They're actually, forget what make they are now, they're very good quality ones. And I think I can change them in all of these wagons and put them into some new roller bearings will improve them tremendously as well, and certainly take a lot of drag off. There's a lot of drag on these wagons, as I've shown you before, because of the old style wheel arrangement. Yep. All 10 of them, guys. Oh, and I can tell you something very interesting. Now, most modern locomotives, without any load on, when I say without any load, I mean without any wagons or passengers or coaches, anything, just a loco. So, the average current pulled by one of those, a modern loco, is around about 200 milliamps. So there's 1000 milliamps in an amp, so we're looking 5 locos would pull around about 1 amp. Now, here we've got 10 locos on, and all these Triang ones, oh hang on, we've got a problem there. Oh no, disaster. Got a wagon off, oh no. Wait a minute, let's have a look what's happening. Right, ooh. Do I leave this in the video? Yeah, leave it in the video. Hang on, I've got to sort this out. I think something's come uncoupled, stay with me. Yeah, okay, we're back cooking with gas, yeah. One of the cars uncoupled on the inner radius there, and I think you can probably see it on the camera. These wagons, they just wobble so much, horrible wheels on them, and I'm definitely going to do something about that. The fact that they wobble so much means they can actually uncouple themselves sometimes, which I think is exactly what's just happening. Right, let's get back on the track, pardon the pun there. Yeah, I was telling you about the current. So 5 modern locomotives would draw roughly 1 amp. That's without any cars and passenger cars or pulling any weight. Now, here we've got 10. They're all the old Triang motors, and these are thirsty buggers. I'll tell you now, these have all been serviced 100% perfectly, but they still require a lot of power. And I can tell you now, you've got no chance of running this amount of locomotives, pulling this amount of freight with any box standard power supply. And let me show you why. Including all the lighting, which is on as well. Let me show you how much power this lot's pulling. We're looking down there, look, 6.4 amps. That is a lot of current. I'm telling you now, that's a lot of current. Anyway, we're derailed again. Oh no! Oh no! That's the same car that's come off as well. Alright, no worries. I'll edit it back in, hang on. Yeah, it's the same one come off again. I don't really know why. We're nearly at the end anyway, so I think I can live with this. I'm just going to try and show you how bad these are. Look at this permanent weight wagon down here. Just look how it wobbles, look. Watch. You can see that, wobbling like hell. It's stupid bloody old-fashioned wheel. And even this caboose as well, it's just got this horrible wobble on it. Almost every one of these have. So yes, one day I'm going to get round to putting changing the wheels on them all. Try and get a few more shots before it happens again. That one there seems to be the problem one. Bloody wobbling, man. Crazy. Let's get some more shots for you, come on. Right. Always a good one down the room here, this is. Come on, girls. Pair of Australian ones there. And the first 4 original ones. And in the middle line, we've got the Canadian Pacific set with the Transcontinental on the front. Brilliant. Yeah, so going back to the power, guys, you can see, I mean, I know the lights are going about 2.5 amps, so this lot's going over 4 amps. And again, the more wagons or the more plate, the more rolling stock you put on the back, the more it's required to pull them. So, you know, let's just get a couple of flybys. Got to do some editing anyway, the way it's gone. So let's have an outside flyby. Come on, come on. Oops. There we go. Oh yeah. Wicked. Cool. Could be quite difficult to get the others because they're on the inside of each other, obviously. You get a little top to it. Okay. The arm off the track. Oh no. All good fun. Oh, I might get this one. Yeah, I might get this one. Yes! Wicked! Oh, that was wicked. That was a good one. But definitely didn't much chance to get the 2 Australian ones on their own. Doubt it very much. sorted together with that. Well, that's not bad together, look like that. Yes! Okay, one more round the top, and we'll call it a day. So there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, first time on YouTube. I don't think I've ever seen, well, virtually the full set of them together before. So another little feather in my cap, as I say. Oh yeah, we get come on, yes. Got it. Good. I'm happy with that. Well, it's time to bring everything to a halt, guys. So usual thing. Let's get round here first. Slow things down as they come round. We'll start with the outside line, obviously, otherwise it just blocks all the others. Here they come. Look at that for a Troy. 1957 locomotives on Pico track. Look at that, guys. Oh, on DC. Right, I'm full with that there. Let it go round once more. Yes, I'm going to get round to changing all these wheels one day. Just bloody busy, that's all. Right, middle line. Come on, same again. Nice slow DC crawl. 4 Triang locos. I tell you what, man, you can't complain at that. Look at that for control, boys. Look at that. Alright, last up then, a pair of Australian ones. Same again, a nice slow crawl. I tell you what, these two are only just managing to pull this rake because of so much drag on them crappy wheels what they used. They're just managing it. Oops, that was me, that was stuck a bit too soon. There you go. That's it, guys. All 10 of them. And just to recap, the only 2 that I've actually got missing, if it's worth bothering about them, would be the yellow one that would go between those 2. It's yellow, it's striped, it says Triang Railways on it, but it's got that running number 5007, and I've never seen one. And I also don't know the fact that it falls in between those 2 there. I also don't know whether it doesn't have the rivet in the light, whereas when they move to that one with the number change, they put the rivet in. So the one that goes between those, I don't know if it's got that rivet in the light. And of course the other one which I mentioned to you was the one after this one, which is identical except it says Trans Australia. So there, so 12 in reality, but pretty good set of 10 there, I say myself. Just 2 little quick things to show you, little couple of things I've added. I got nowhere to put them really, but look, got that, look. It's a Nottingham City Transport single decker coach there, I got that one. And if you can see over here, another one here, behind the tree there, it says on the front, 99 Trent Bridge. That's Trent Bridge in Nottingham. And it's a double decker Nottingham bus. So with that, I'll bid you good night. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Bye everyone.